FlossTube.
Hi, FlossTube.
I'm Pam.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this is
Just Keep Stitching,
episode 111.
50 plus 20 plus 5 plus 25 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 111, cause math.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello, people. Why did you just point?
I pointed to the dude.
Oh.
Now she's
Sorry.
missing the cues. She's always after me to read the notes. We shall begin now.
Yes.
You may be seated. Everyone, just sit down.
Sit down,
If you're
people.
not already sitting down, which you probably...
Why would you be standing?
I don't know. Maybe you just walked into the room.
Or maybe they're on what is that thing called?
Maybe they're in the car.
Where they'd be sitting.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, on a treadmill. That's the word I was looking for.
Treadmill. There.
Yeah.
See, that's
so don't sit down if you're on a treadmill.
Oh, no. Because
That could be bad.
that could be bad. Welcome back again.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. If you just found us,
God bless you.
thanks for finding us.
Yes.
We hope you enjoy your first exposure to us.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you don't suffer because of it.
Badly.
But this is a channel about cross stitch.
This is a channel about cross stitch.
And so that's what we're going to talk about for a little bit of your time. Thanks
Yes.
for visiting. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
And usually we start each episode talking about
What we did this week.
What we did this week, primarily in the stitching realm.
Right. We don't talk about like our doctor's appointments or what we ate unless it's important.
Right.
We're just here to talk about cross stitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
if
it has to do with cross stitch or the people that we cross stitch with.
To our regular viewers, you know that for the past week or so, we have been back from our trip to Wisconsin, and as such, things have been pretty much back to normal, as they say at this house.
I was going to say, where do they say that?
They say it just about anywhere.
Yes. So
Anyway,
I went back to work Monday. I went back to work Tuesday. And then I'm always off Wednesday and we're closed Thursday. And then we went, so we failed to mention in our plan section of last week's extremely long video that we had very important plans this Friday night.
Of course.
It has been, you put your hands down now, Pam.
Sorry.
It has been since probably May.
Yeah, I think May was.
That we had our last.
We had our last Crockpot Friday,
Friday.
so it was overdue.
Way overdue.
Overdue. So,
we tried to get one, I think, in July, but that just didn't work out.
It just didn't work. People are so busy in the summer.
Yes.
And including us.
Yes.
So, we had our first Crockpot Friday here.
Crockpot Friday.
On Friday evening.
We did.
The first one since StitchCon.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And we had 9 out of 10.
We did.
We missed Alicia terribly. Hi, Alicia.
Hello, friend.
And we had a great evening. We had a great meal.
Yeah.
We had a great selection of munchies and, of course, the main course and wine and desserts and
friendship.
And friendship and lots of gabbing and catching up.
Yes.
And we also talked about some future plans that our group has going into the fall and winter of this year.
Yes. And so one of those things that we talked about
Right.
was our trip to Whistlestop. And so we are not the only floss tubers in our group. So for a lot of new people, I wanted to kind of share a little bit about what that was, what Whistlestop is, what a Whistlestop group is, all of that.
Go into that today, did you?
I just wanted to just give a quick background. Okay. So, we refer to them as our Crockpot crew, our Whistlestop gang, or whatever.
Yeah.
What that is it is a group of 10 amazing women.
Well, including the two of us.
Including the two of us, yes.
So there's 10 total. So there's 8 other women besides Stephanie.
Correct, yes. And they are, for the most part, local here. We have one in the Columbus area and one in the Findlay, Ohio area. And, but for the most part, all local. Yeah. We are just all 10 very, very close friends.
Yes.
So the Whistlestop trip that we go to is on FlossTube. There's Jennifer, the Whistlestop stitcher. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
And she is both a quilter and a cross stitcher, and she has this amazingly beautiful old farmhouse that she's restored completely, and she offers it up to be rented out. And so we heard about this, and so we were like, this would be perfect. So the Whistlestop retreat that we go on is a private retreat. It's just for the 10 of us. It's these are people who we can be 100%.
We've only done it once before.
Right. Well,
and
yeah.
we were there about 4 hours, and we called Jennifer to book it for another year. Right. We loved it so much.
Yes.
Within minutes of arriving, we said we have to keep doing this. This is just so wonderful.
Yes. And so somehow it's so hard, and with groups of women for there to not be drama, and our group is negative drama.
Negative drama. And the other thing is too that this farmhouse that Jennifer and her husband have renovated, and is primarily or probably originally designed for quilting retreats. So there is a lot of facilities, ironing boards and
cutting boards
and things like that, and long tables and everything. So if you have a group of quilters, think about this. It's in Sweetwater, Tennessee, and we had such an unbelievably good time there last year. Like I said, that within a matter of an hour, we were on the phone. Jennifer and her husband thought maybe there was a plumbing problem or something when we called them.
Nope.
We said, no, everything is just so good that we want to book next year already. Right. We hadn't even finished the retreat.
It was so good.
So that's what we talked about Friday night. Here was...
So I highly recommend, first before you continue, is to go back on our channel, and I think it was Pam and Steph Wander Back from Whistlestop.
Something like
that. But it's from October of last year, and I do a house tour and talk all about it. Yeah. So if you and your girlfriends want to travel to Sweetwater, Tennessee, and book the farmhouse for your group of friends, you are 100% open to do that.
Do you remember how many people can...
I think it's 16.
I think she can fit 16.
I think
in a group reservation. Yes. There were 10 of us, so we had 9 last year, but we had 9 last year. We upped it to 10 this year.
Yes,
and we didn't even need to use the second story.
Right.
So we didn't.
Right.
That includes a fully equipped kitchen, this huge quilting room, another adorable. Bump out room in the back with patio furniture. It's all glassed in.
Yeah. It's just beautiful.
There's a living room with a TV. It's just amazing. So go find that episode.
And I will also link Jennifer's channel below, her foster channel, and the Whistlestop quilt. It's actually called Whistlestop Quilt Retreat.
Right.
But obviously stitchers can rent it out as well. And I'll put the website link below if you and your stitchy friends want to check it out.
Right.
But I know that we were told by a couple other girls on Friday night that people have been asking them questions like, how do I sign up to go to Whistlestop? And it's like, no, it's a private retreat.
Yeah.
So it's just our opportunity to
be ourselves and let our hair down.
Yes.
Talk frankly.
Not wear bras, all the things.
Just all that kind of stuff. We assigned meals to everybody. It worked like a charm last year. The other thing I wanted to mention was, so the reason we had to talk about it Friday night was because we have a white elephant, cutthroat, stealing smalls exchange.
Correct.
And so we had to draw names for that. We had to...
That we drew names for the secret
whatever.
Santa.
What are we doing? Let's see.
Well,
that one...
The Smalls Exchange in Tennessee is anybody stitches anything that they want.
That's right. And then we're going to wrap it...
in the theme
wise.
Yes.
That's what we're going to do at Whistlestop.
It is.
Okay. The other...
this is just so Pam knows what she's doing.
No. But it is cutthroat.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah,
so it's...
100% cutthroat.
100% you can steal, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But everything will be wrapped, your gift bags or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what we did. We kind of took that idea from the Frugal Yankee Retreat this past March.
Yeah.
So, we talked about that. And then, jumping ahead toward Christmas.
Yes.
We live in Southwest Ohio, if you didn't know that already. And the county seat has a very historic restaurant called the Golden Lamb in Lebanon, Ohio. And so we always reserve an evening near Christmas for our group. We always. Again, this is only year 2. We've done it once and we said, let's keep going.
Right.
So we drew names for that Friday night for the Christmas one.
Correct.
And that is where we know who we're going to be stitching with.
Yes, it's a Secret Santa.
Yeah. So it's a Secret Santa kind of thing. And so
but people want to get started early on it.
We got all things talked out. We talked about transportation. We talked about dates. We talked
meals,
about
all the things.
So
that was Friday night.
Friday night.
I wanted to mention too that earlier on Friday, so Pam stayed home because the recipe that we had, which was chicken parmesan pasta or something like that.
Yeah, something.
And it was not like a hit the crock pot and then leave for 8 hours.
I had to wait until like 2-ish.
Right. And so Pam stayed home and I went to work, and it was a busy day at Keepsakes, and I was so usually my Fridays typically go I sit and I'll stitch because it's so busy that I need to be not in the office on the computer. And so I'll sit and I'll stitch. It's the only day that I get to stitch, but let's be honest, 9 out of 10 minutes I am helping a customer. And so we had a packed house on Friday, and I was so surprised because Kia came. And so Kia was on vacation with her family at her grandfather's house, and it's about an hour and change for her to drive. And so she had hinted to me earlier this week, and she was like, could I, are you gonna be there on Friday? And I was like, obviously I'm gonna be there on Friday. And then, she was asking questions, so I had an idea, but she walked in a little past 11, and I was like,
yeah.
So that was exciting. So we got to sit and chat and stitch, and that was a great time. And then also, Melissa, Cupcake Stitcher, who is part of our Whistlestop crew, she took the whole day off from work, and so she was able to come down to Keepsakes about 12:30, and she sat and stitched with all of us, at the shop until we closed at 5, and then we came back to my house. So thank you, girls, and thank you for everyone else that came on Friday. And it was such a surprise. Kia, I love you so much.
Yeah. So so that pretty much took us up to the end of the week.
Yeah.
We ran a bunch of errands. We both got new phones yesterday. Yes. We're so excited. We got Galaxy Note 10s, and we've been having fun with the settings and getting used to it and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So that's kind of been our stitching week.
Yes.
With this announcement as well.
Yes. So this is the last video that we will make in August. So that means that the 1st of September will happen before we make a video again. Actually, isn't this 1st of September next Sunday?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Labor Day weekend.
Yes. So, I know that it's a Sunday. I know that it's a holiday weekend. I know that it is, also the day that we record. But Sunday, September 1st, is when invoices for StitchCon 2020 begin going out. Right. So, they will begin with everyone that came in 2019. And then any remaining spots will go to folks on the wait list. Okay? So, if you are somebody who's on the wait list and you're like, I didn't get an invoice on Sunday, September 1st, do not fret.
Right.
Okay.
Because the returners...
Yes. So
potential returners.
They have 2 weeks to pay an invoice.
Right.
So, if they get an invoice and don't pay it, then it gets canceled and then I move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? So the process of invoicing begins on Sunday, September 1st. I have no plans on getting up at 8 a.m. and starting. However, that's when they start, and they will continuously. I have to send them out individually on PayPal. That's just how we do it. There's probably an easier way, but that's what makes the most sense to my brain, and I'm the one that does it. So that's how it's done. And they will be going out alphabetically by first name, because that's how I have everything organized. So, please be patient with that process. Please know that I also have a job and that I have other things I need to do, but
So they will initially start going out on
Sunday, September 1st.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, you can still...
Well, there's no time, but...
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can still put your name on the wait list. That is still open. Will be open until January 1st. The link to the StitchCon website is in the description box below. If you're watching this and you have no idea what the heck I am talking about, then I highly recommend going to the StitchCon website, linked below, and you can find out all of the information that you need to know. So in this next week, I plan on updating the website with information that we do have so far for StitchCon 2020. And so please know that invoices will come via PayPal from Keepsakes.
Right.
So it's a StitchCon invoice, but it's from Keepsakes because it's a Keepsakes event. So we had people like in the past 2 years be like, I got this thing from Keepsakes and I didn't know what it was. And that's what it is. Right. So it will go out, and then you have 2 weeks to pay. You'll get a reminder from PayPal after 1 week of non-payment.
Now, those invoices are to people who came last year, so they should know all this.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, so because I'll eventually get through, I know that there's a chunk of people that aren't coming back next year. Okay. So I know I'll have to go to the wait list automatically. Okay. So that's just how that whole process will work.
Okay. And it's 400
people, yes.
400 spaces.
Their registration fee is $150.
Correct.
That is it.
And it's in the same location as this one was this year with the Sharonville Convention Center.
Everything is basically the same as last year.
Correct.
So, just be aware of that. Keep an eye out for that. I know that it's a holiday weekend, but you have 2 weeks to pay, so don't freak out.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so that's the latest StitchCon information.
Yes.
And that brings us to...
Excuse me, I had to wet my whistle. Pam.
Pam's pinned comment.
I used the red one today.
Oh. You're so special.
Thank you, Pam.
Pam's pinned comment was found very early on.
Yes.
In the comment queue. And I had to pick it. I just had to pick it. Because I just had to.
When you know, you know. Am I right?
Right. When you know, you know. So, Pam's pinned comment came 5 days ago, at the very beginning of the commenting. Not the very, very first, but very early.
Yes.
From YouTube name Mary Mac.
16.
Mary Mac, space 16.
Yes.
I don't know whether she already knows she's been pinned or not, but here we go. I have traveled this summer. Because it was all about, tell us about your travels this summer.
Yeah, that was the giveaway question last week.
Right.
Where have you traveled?
I went to Ohio in June to this thing called StitchCon. I met 399 people and loved them all. While I was there, I got to meet these 2 people who stitch and do FlossTube. I think their names are Pam and Steph, and they live in Ohio. It's so funny you guys remind me so much of them. I had so much fun that I'm going back next year to see them again. And then she added a P.S. Isn't Cops wonderful? Which was the
frozen custard
that we got in Wisconsin during our trip.
Yes.
And yes, it was wonderful.
I have heard that from other people that we remind them of these 2 couples.
I know, isn't that funny? So thank you, Mary Mac, space 16, for your pinned comment for this week.
Yes.
Let's talk about stitching, shall we?
I think we shall.
All right. We have some whips to show.
We do. You can go first, Pam.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so as I said last week, I am probably going to put off spinning my wheels. Spinning my
I wish you guys could have seen what she just did.
Well, anyway, on my phone, because it's heading into our busy traveling to retreat season, including the events we talked about just now.
Yes.
And that means stitching some smalls. And I don't want to show them even in progress,
right?
Because I don't want to give them away.
Neither do
But I do have one whip, and that is because I am participating in the Seize the Day sale that is sponsored by Caterpillar Cross Stitch over in England.
Yes.
And this has been, this year, a 9-month stitch-along. And so I wanted to get caught up, and I did. I worked on this when we got back from our trip.
You get your parts on like the 24th or 25th
right.
of the month? Okay.
Right. So 9 months, and so...
Are you finished with the 8th part?
No, I'm finished with the 7th part.
Oh, so you have 2 more parts to go.
Month 7. So here is Seize the Day, all caught up. And that meant doing the mermaid, some more seaweed, the seahorse, and that little, I'm calling him a torpedo fish.
Torpedo fish.
And so...
mermaid, seahorse.
Yep. So right on time.
Right on time.
From a distance.
Yep.
Up close. Yesterday I got... Was it yesterday or today?
Yes, it was yesterday.
Yesterday I got month
8. Yep.
And as you can see, there's not much space left on the fabric.
Nope.
So...
oh, yeah. Because I was like, I asked yesterday if there was stuff underneath the water, but no.
So the next month is going to involve 2 or 3 different other
little motifs.
And we're close to being finished
Closing
with that.
in.
Closing in on a finish for Seize the Day. So that was my one whip that...
You're willing to show.
I'm willing to share. I have been stitching other things, but until...
We like the element of surprise.
We like the element of surprise, and I don't want to give anything away to potential recipients.
Correct.
So...
Okay, so I had a couple of new starts this week. So I'll start with this one. So... this was one of them. Hold on. It's in my project bag because I don't want it to get lost. And this is blah, 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 blah. Holiday Hoopla by Brenda Gervais. Halloween. Isn't she so cute? And the reason that I wanted to get it started was because it's freaking adorable. And I knew that I had the Kermit fabric, and I was just like, yes, please, give me some. And I knew it would be quick and like a really fun finish. So here's my story. So I was working on the thing that I finished, which you'll see in a minute. And then by this point of the day, I don't remember when. I think it might have been Thursday. I'm not sure. Pam had gone to bed. Okay? And so then I pulled out my fabric, which is 32 count Kermit Lugana from Picture This Plus. And I had all my colors, all my stuff. It was all set to go. And I put it in the Q-snap, and I typically am a John James Tapestry Petite size 26 needle user. That's really what I was taught on. That's what I like to stitch with. They're my favorite. So why would I not use those? So I go to start it, and I literally, it was like shoving my needle through every hole. Like I could hear the needle going through the fabric, and I was like, even for as small as this piece is, I'm gonna hate it. And then who lets a whip like this size languish because of that? So I stitched one little motif on it, and then I took it to Keepsakes on Friday, and I said, well, the only solution I can think of is maybe a size 28 needle. And it made all the difference in the world. Because let me just tell you that with the dyeing process that Picture This Plus uses, and it's not necessarily a bad thing on them, I'm not trying to sit here and talk smack about them, but this neon green color is such a dense color to achieve this green, that in that dyeing process, the holes get so small. And Kia actually measured it on Friday, and because I was telling her about my needle situation. And she was like, it's literally, there's 17 holes per inch, so that makes it 34 count. Yeah. So it's closer to 34 count. And I do not typically stitch on anything higher than 32. And I was like, I don't think my stitches look bad, but I was like, I'm not going to struggle to stitch this itty bitty thing. So I got a package of Tapestry Petite John James.
2 threads.
And I'm using 2 threads over to on this 32 count Kermit.
Yeah.
And that's how much I have.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, even how sort of crowded those look.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way. Like, in person, they look fine.
I think you should try one strand and see what you think.
I did on Friday at the shop, and I hated it.
Oh, and you didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Because your coverage...
Not like my mom.
Yeah.
And it just looked too thin to me.
Okay.
So these don't look... You know how sometimes on 36 count, 2 threads can look crowded? Mm-hmm. These don't look like that to me.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm comfortable with... like, once I get the needle through and the threads are fine.
Okay.
But...
okay. It was just the poking through the holes.
Yes. So
the 28 needle should be fine.
Yeah, and I'm like one of those people, and I feel like a lot of people do this, is like when they're trying to find the hole on the back that they like tick along the threads, like tick, 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 until the needle finds the hole. Yeah. And I couldn't do that. Even the head of the needle would not go through. Yeah. It was bad. So
that would be another situation where a ballpoint needle would be disastrous.
Probably.
Because it would leave evidence that the ball has gone through and leave a mark.
It would warp the...
If you end up having a frog, that's disastrous.
Yeah. No.
So that you'll get there.
So I've kept my package of needles in this chart.
Are they petites?
Yes.
Okay. They are 28 petites.
They are petites. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So that night that I started that, Pam was already in bed, but I wasn't ready to go to bed. So I said, well, I'm not going to sit here and not stitch. So I started on the project that I kitted up at Lynn's of Madison when we were in Wisconsin, which is from Plum Street Sampler, Cereal Bowl Collection of Sampler Lessons, Lesson 4. And this is what it looks like. It's a new release from her. And I love this so much. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love it.
So what count are you stitching that on?
This is on... I know it's 32 count, and I think it's vintage navy bean. I know it's a Lakeside linen, but I think it's vintage navy bean. And this, people, oh my god, I love it.
I think this sounds better than the other.
It's amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing. I am having all the fun stitching this. Like, this is I mean, not that it's been a long time or whatever since I've started stitching something, and yeah, I mean, I really like, I don't want to put this down. Like, we didn't start recording today until 6, almost 7, because I was like, but I want to keep stitching it. And so I was like, can I just get the windows done? Pam was like, you're ridiculous. So this is how much I've gotten done. Mm-hmm. And
that's great.
Yes. So thank you, Pam. So I got all of these words done last night, and then I got the roof done first, and I'm going to try and get the house done. So there's a lot of people out there in the world that are like, I really love to stitch houses. And I'm like, well, that's nice, but I don't know if I like stitching houses. And so I'm trying to find, I mean, I like patterns with houses, but I'm trying to find the right strategy on how to stitch houses. So that's going pretty well. And this is not the called for fabric for it, but all the called for colors. Okay. In case you're wondering. Okay.
That's good. All right.
It's bell time.
It's bell time.
So I had one finished this week. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably have seen it 1,000 times before, and you're over me sharing it. However, I started this the Monday after our Wisconsin video. Okay. And this is Spread Kindness by Heart and Hand. And this was given to us as a kit for Stitch Away, and mine is signed by Cecilia. And I just want to get it done. And so I finished doing the cross stitches on Thursday. And then I really wanted to, you see this little piece of felt that it actually has a blanket stitch. I almost said button stitch. A blanket stitch that goes around the edge of that felt, and I have never done such a stitch. And so at first I was like, I'll just take it to Keepsakes and have Susan help me do it. No problem. And then I was like, I can figure it out. And then I couldn't figure it out. Save my soul.
So, I couldn't help her.
Yeah, she was like, no, I can't do that for you.
I mean, I've done a blanket stitch many, many, many years ago, like maybe 40 years ago. No, seriously, 40 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, but not to attach it on top of cross stitch fabric.
Correct.
That was where I was getting hung up.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure it out. And I am also not a stitch in hand person. And so that feels unnatural
when
to me.
Susan did it for you.
Yes. Thank you, Susan.
Did she take it out of the...
yes.
She did it in hand.
Yeah, and I did ask Barbara, and Barbara said, yeah, there's no way you can do it in the Q snap.
No, that's what I thought.
And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought too, but it feels really unnatural to me to hold fabric in my hand.
Right.
So, like, as I know that sounds weird to people, but that's just how I am.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, here you go, Susan.
Right.
And thankfully, like, so I actually took a picture of it on Thursday and posted on social media, and I just had this just like laying on it. And I wasn't trying to trick anyone. I full disclosured into the post, and I was like, yeah, this is not attached. And even Susan commented on it, and she was like, I got you. And I just gave it to her, and she did it lickety split, because she does a lot of wool applique. So if you do a wool applique, then you know what that is. Yeah. And so it is all done. And in the beautiful kit that we got was the finishing fabric for the back and the chenille trim. So Jan Calvert, our wonderful finisher at Keepsakes, happened to be at Keepsakes on Friday. So I just put it all in a bag and said, here you go, Jan. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And
but you took a picture of it.
I did. I took a photo of it. And so we'll insert my picture of my finished spread kindness here.
Came out great, didn't it?
It sure did. Thank you, Pam. And Pam hasn't even seen it in real life finished yet.
No. I only saw the picture because I was home.
Correct.
But
can I read
there
it?
you go.
Happy finishes, everyone.
And we'll see the finish.
Yes, when it comes back.
When it comes back from Jan.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about our promotions for this week.
Let's do it. Okay.
The first one is Color and Cotton.
Yes, the first one is Color and Cotton, which is the Color and Cotton Thread of the Month Club through Crazy Annie Stitchin. And we are anxiously awaiting Are we still waiting on our August threads, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
It's no big deal. We're not like, whatever.
No, right.
But, and so when we get the August threads, we will show you those. We're excited about them. And so how the club works is that there's a link in the description box below where you can sign up if you'd like to join. There are 3 different color options. You can pick bright colors, primitive colors, or all colors. There's no color overlap on any of the packages, so if you want to get all 3, you're more than welcome to, and you can get either 3 or 5 skeins. So you can get as little as 3 skeins a month or as much as 15 skeins a month. It's totally up to you, whatever you'd like to do. I will tell you that I have stitched with Color and Cotton, and they are amazing to stitch with.
And I am currently stitching with Color and Cotton.
You are? Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I am loving every stitch.
Yes. So it is definitely something to look into if you are someone who likes to change colors or likes to just stitch with really nice thread. So the link in the description box below will take you to the form that you sign up for, and will also explain to you all the pricing and all the things. It's the club that's through Crazy Annie, not through Color and Cotton directly. And so there's also no color overlap between the 2 clubs either, if you'd like. Okay. And then the next item for promotion is the SewMuch2Luv Project Bag of the Month Club. If you would like to see the beautiful August bag, please go back to episode 110, where I basically just drooled all over the amazing bee bag that Karen made for the SewMuch2Luv Bag of the Month Club. So it's this amazing club, which basically what you get is it just appears at your door. It's like an angel sent from heaven, and it's a box with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful handmade bag inside, typically themed for that month. But not just the bag, you get also a ton of goodies inside of it as well. And it always includes a handwritten letter from Karen explaining all the contents, and everything is all themed and goes together, and it's a really, really wonderful package. So there's a link in the description box below where you can check out SewMuch2Luv's Etsy, and also the link for the club. The last I heard, which was like a couple weeks ago when I talked to Karen, is that the club for 2019 is full. However, we want you to know that she will be taking sign-ups for the 2020 Bag of the Month Club starting in October. So as October gets closer and we get more details about that whole sign-up process, we will let you know. We will be partaking in the SewMuch2Luv Bag of the Month Club for 2020 as well. So get used to hearing about it. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. And then the third promotion is our wonderful collaboration with our friends and yours at Twin Peak Primitives.
Right. I heard from Nursin and Nerden and got some more details about our trip. Mm-hmm. But before we talk about the trip, we want to alert you to the 15% off pattern that we choose from their collection of patterns. And this week, we're kind of looking ahead toward fall, October, and Halloween. And they have a fairly new, if not brand new chart called Friends for Spooks.
Yes.
And it's super cute. It's got a really cute little sentiment on it.
And this is what we call the pattern of the week.
Pattern of the week. It's 15% off on their Etsy shop, their website, and also at Beach Cottage Stitchers.
Correct. And Beach Cottage Stitchers has hard copies if you would like, if you prefer to have a hard copy. But those are the 3 places where you can get them. Everything is linked below, including everything.
So let's insert a picture of Friends for Spooks here.
Cool.
Isn't that cute? Yeah. So, people are just getting a little bit maybe weary of the hot weather we've had this summer in most locations.
I want it to go away.
Yeah, and looking forward to. We've had a break the last couple of days. It hasn't been too bad.
But I want sweater weather.
Yeah, we all are wanting our sweaters and our fires and our fireplaces and all that kind of stuff. So, we're looking ahead to fall.
We are.
And then you want to talk about the
trip?
The trip.
I'd love to.
The trip, as it's known.
So fall is coming, and then after fall comes winter. And winter comes starting in December. And you know what else is happening in December?
Yeah.
We're going to the freaking Netherlands.
We're going to the Netherlands.
We are. So
thanks to
Twin Peak Primitives.
Twin Peak Primitives. And they actually are extending an open slot for a traveler to go with us.
Yes.
And that will be all expenses paid. And the only criteria to be selected for that open slot is to purchase Tracking the Seasons, which is their 4-seasonal tractor scene pattern. And you can see it under Stitch Mania on their Etsy shop.
Stitch Mania?
Not Stitch Mania, Dutch Mania.
Oh.
Dutch Mania. And Mania with a Y. And it's usually posted the same day we do our video, if not soon thereafter, on the Beach Cottage Stitchers Facebook page as well. So you want to make sure that you buy the pattern. It's about $20. And what else?
Well, you just said something about it being posted on the Beach Cottage Stitchers page. It's always been available on Beach Cottage Stitchers. So you said it would be posted after we post our video. I think you were talking about the pattern of the week, but that's okay. It's also available on Beach Cottage Stitchers.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay. It's okay, Pam. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm patting her knee for support.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So you can get your PDF download from their Etsy or their website, or you can get a hard copy from Beach Cottage Stitchers.
Yeah.
The only thing that you don't need to say anything about hearing about it through us. They will automatically enter your name into the list of potential people to win. And then, however, if you purchase your chart from somewhere else, that is totally fine. You can get it from your LNS. It is also Twin Peak Primitives is distributed through Hoffman now, which is very exciting. So your local needlework shop will carry it if you'd like to purchase through them and support your LNS. We totally get that and encourage you to do so. However, if you'd like to be entered into the trip giveaway, we need to know about your purchase. And so how we do that is you need to take a photo of your chart and you post it to social media. You can either post it on Instagram or on the Twin Peak Primitives business Facebook page, all linked below, using the hashtag DutchMania. That's mania with a Y.
Right.
Okay.
All this information is summarized in the description box below, which in my opinion is a total work of art. So make sure that you take advantage of all the information that we link below.
And we will be picking...
She links below because she does all of that.
All of it. It's okay. I enjoy doing it.
And that makes up for all my flubs.
Yes. So it's fine. So continue to make the flubs. I appreciate them. And then we will be picking a winner at the end of October.
Right.
So time is running out, people. Get your charts.
Right.
We want to go to Europe with you.
We've been sent the itinerary for the week. It's very, very exciting. We're getting to do a lot more things than I thought we were going to go. We know where we're going to be staying.
I mean, even if we went over there for a week and just sat and stitched, I'd be totally fine with that.
We're going to see some amazing things.
If you guys thought Wisconsin was fun.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes.
Oh, boy. We're just very excited. Friday night, our friend Lisa was talking about an overseas trip that she was making by herself coming up.
Oh, that one.
And we got talking about, flying to foreign countries. And most of us, aside from our friend Katie, who travels all over the place for work, really haven't done a whole lot of long distance
international
travel, if you will.
I'm very excited about it.
And so now that we're starting to get some more details,
we even looked at international socket things yesterday.
Yeah, at Best Buy when we were getting our cases.
I was like,
we're
gonna need one of these.
We're gonna need like an electrical socket converter. And
yeah,
things
we
like
are.
That. Yeah, but that's what I mean. We're starting to think about specifics
very
like that.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped.
All right. And you want to talk about the last promotion?
Yes.
Because this is the last time for this one.
Yes. So if you have watched us for the entire month of August and the last week of July, then you know that for the month of August, Trish at Threads Entwined, which is a needlework shop that is brick and mortar and online in Northern California, has generously offered to all of our viewers a wonderful 15% off coupon code. And that you can use it online on her shop. Just enter the code at checkout, or you can call the shop and place the order and use the discount there, or you can just walk in and say, hey, I want to use the coupon code. And Trish will say, great, thanks for coming back. So it's 15% off anything on her site. One word, it's all lowercase, all one word. Yeah. Pam and Steph 15. Pam and Steph 15. Enter the code at checkout for 15% off.
Great.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So those are all our deals this week.
Yes.
And we thank everybody who reaches out to us. And
the promo code for Thread Entwined ends at the end of August.
Right. So you've got till Saturday. Mm-hmm. Really.
You do.
The last day of August.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out. Take advantage of that code.
Yes.
All right. So that brings us to
mail call.
Okay. Not much of a mail call.
Kind of.
Who's going to go first?
You.
Okay. So I'll start with the latest first.
This is so cool.
This is very, very cool.
Are you going to read it or am I?
I'm going to read it first.
Okay.
And when we talk about reading it, we're talking about a book.
Yeah.
When we were in Wausau, and we did World Cross Stitch Day.
That's Wausau, Wisconsin.
Wausau, Wisconsin. When we were in Wausau, and we're at World Cross Stitch Day, our friend Lisa, who had come down to Keepsakes, was there.
Hi, Lisa!
And brought her friend Leanne. And we had not met Leanne before.
Roseanne.
Roseanne. I'm getting Leanne's and Roseanne's. Sorry.
It's okay. It's Roseanne.
Roseanne.
Yes.
This is the flubbiest video I've ever made.
I love it.
Anyway.
But you know what? You know what's the best part, Pam? Is that we're not going to stop and re-record it.
No.
No. Okay.
Anyway,
continue about Roseanne.
Roseanne was there with Lisa. And it's a great story because Lisa said that if it were not for stitching, or was it FlossTube as well?
We made it happen.
Well, we were instrumental in putting these two ladies together.
Because Lisa came to Keepsakes, and Lisa said that Lisa lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right.
And she told us that she was like, I don't have anyone to stitch with. And I was like, that's insane. Milwaukee is a big city. I know other people that live in Milwaukee that stitch. I'll help you. And so we came on here and we talked about it. And she, through our videos, met Roseanne, and they live 4.1 miles away from each other.
I mean, that's closer.
Wild.
Than
and they get along.
Nicole, Buckeye Stitcher, and us.
This is true.
I mean, that's like a hop, skip, and a jump.
This is true.
So Roseanne was at World Cross Stitch Day at the Needlework shop, and she's a delight. We talked and talked and talked. Yes. She actually has started, 272 words, the Gettysburg Address. Mm-hmm. And
super cool.
And she's doing it one over one, I think.
Crazy.
Or a small count, at least, insane. On a pretty bold gold. And she was having second thoughts about that. We talked about that. Just a delight.
It's beautiful.
And anyway, so back to mail call, right?
Yeah, right. Rein it in, Pam.
Yeah, rein it in is right. Look at this beautiful pretty card she sent. Not pretty?
Yes.
Cherries.
I would assume so.
Cherries from Wisconsin. Yes. And she said in so many words, in some very nice words, mm-hmm. that she wanted me to have this book. And it's called The Library Book. And it's
That's literally what it's called.
Susan, and I don't know how it's pronounced, whether it's Orlean or Orlean. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Orlean because I like it.
Okay, as in New Orleans. And it is the story of the fire that devastated the Los Angeles Public Library in 1986. Now,
did you not know this happened?
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of stuff was going on in my life in 86.
I'm well aware of that, Pam.
And I have a vague memory, but here's the thing.
That was the year you got pregnant with me?
Well, that happened.
No, definitely not. No,
no, that did not happen.
Okay.
But what had happened just prior, I was working for the federal courts in Los Angeles.
Right.
From 82 to 84, which was like down the street from the Los Angeles Public Library.
For sure.
In the middle of the city of Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And so we moved right after your brother was born in 84 to Albuquerque.
Right.
And then subsequently moved here in 85.
Yes.
So in the middle of all of that, I don't remember following the story of this fire.
Also,
but I must have been aware of it at the time.
And back then, there wasn't such a thing as Facebook or Instagram, and
not as much of the continuous 24-hour news cycle or whatever.
Correct.
Anyway, so this is the story of the fire, and Eric Larson, who wrote Devil in the White City and a lot of other great books. Yes. He says on the back of this, after reading Susan Orlean's The Library Book, I'm quite sure I'll never look at libraries or librarians the same way again. So, thank you, Roseanne, very much. I'm looking forward to reading this, and I think Stephanie wants to read it too.
We all love a good librarian, you know what I'm saying?
Dropping stuff. Anyway, so thank you, Roseanne. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about under mail call.
That's all the mail call you have over
and that actually is all the mail calls.
That's not all your mail. That's not all the mail call, but there's more.
This is just a hot mess of a video.
I'm obsessed with it, so it's fine. People love it.
It's the new phone. Must be the new phone.
No, this is just how we are normally.
All right.
Okay. This, as Kia would say, this is raw and uncut. This is not as raw and uncut as we can go, though. Let's keep it real.
All right, whatever.
Okay, so we have a good friend named Darla.
Oh, yeah, Darla. Hi, Darla.
Hi, Darla. And she lives in Kentucky, just south of us. And she is just a wonderful human. In general.
Yeah.
And she also is a stitcher. And she is a big Pam and Steph fan, which I love that. And she sent me a freebie that was originally from DMC, and she got it, and she didn't know if I'd ever seen it before. And I said, no. And this is amazing. Thank you so much. And so I printed off the photo, and it's a freebie, so I'm going to show you. But how freaking cute is that?
Yeah. Isn't that cute?
I'm dying over her.
That's going to be adorable.
I love her.
Right.
So I have a couple of...
We're collecting quite a few, as you can imagine.
Well, yeah, but like the smaller Holland, Netherlands, Amsterdam, whatever charts that I can take on the plane.
Right.
Those are the ones I'm going to kit up and take on the plane.
Okay.
Okay. And then speaking of Holland,
Right.
I got this amazing gift from a woman named Sindra. And yeah, that's how you said that.
Right.
Okay. So this really cute Mary Engelbreit card.
Love Mary Engelbreit.
Don't count the days, make the days count. That's an actual drawing of me. Okay. And she sent me this super old magazine. I'm trying to find a date. Yep, August 1994 of the Cross Stitcher magazine. And this is what the cover looks like. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what is this? Well, thankfully, she'd said in the card that she saw what was on page 42 and knew that it had to come to our house.
Right.
And if you flip the photo of the chart itself, I think, yes, is on page 42. But the photo of the chart is on page 41. And the chart is called A Dutch Girl's Dream.
Isn't that neat?
And
there's a big article about
it's a amazing article.
Embroidery of the Netherlands by Lucy Lyons Willis.
Yes, and so this is what the chart looks like. I love it.
Isn't that neat?
It's beautiful. I'm obsessed with this brick house.
Right.
She's a brick house. Love it. Love it. I love this ship up here. I love the border. I like this little windmill.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Okay. So this came in the mail, I think Monday. And so I was just like, well, let me just read this. And so I'm not going to read this whole article to you. Don't worry. However, there's a couple of interesting things because I just like the history of embroidery. And so apparently the Sampler Collection Series is the name of the article. Okay. So there are three, it was tradition back in the 17th and 18th centuries for girls in the Netherlands to stitch 3 different samplers throughout their childhood and young adulthood. Okay. So the first sampler was just basically to initial and embroider the bed sheets and their bed sheets and their undergarments and that kind of stuff. And I thought this was fascinating. One tradition during the 17th and 18th centuries was for the young women to initial and embroider the bed sheet she and her husband would use on their wedding night. Isn't that special? The sheet would then be rolled up the next morning and stored lovingly in the armoire. Again, very special. This, not so special. It would be taken out and used on the bed for the birth of their children, as well as for an ill family member awaiting a doctor's visit.
Had it been laundered at any point in this?
It doesn't mention
chain
it,
of
but
custody?
I hope and pray it did. And then it says, if house guests stayed the night, they would be given this sheet to use as well. No, thank you. Okay, so this is the sheet that you...
So there's sex.
Pam.
Then there's what came
There's
next?
consummation of the marriage.
Yes.
And then there's childbirth.
And
then there's an elderly death.
All on the same piece of bed clothing?
I don't know how I feel.
And then it's available for guests?
Merry Christmas.
No, I don't think
Welcome to our home. Okay. No. But it was also the 17th, 18th century.
Yeah,
and then they also talked about how important and useful the initials inside of the clothing was for, especially for lost elderly. So there was, I'm like, who was watching the elderly?
She's gonna have me start embroidering my sheets.
Please do. Okay. And then and also because like wash days, communities or whatever neighborhoods would wash everything together. Can you imagine
finding an elderly Dutch woman wandering the streets of Amsterdam and you just, you kind of pick her up off the curb.
Are you wearing underwear?
And just say, can we just take a little peek at your panties?
Are you lost? Give me your underwear. Like, what? Okay.
Oh, my dear God.
But they said that sometimes if there were actual lost elderly, that they would be posted about in the newspaper. And one ad in an Amsterdam newspaper, I'm reading this from this article. I'm not just making this up. One ad in an Amsterdam newspaper dated November 8th, 1674 read, quote, "A man found in river and cannot say his name. He is in the hospital, and his hat and underwear have the initials WG.
Word to the wise. Embroider your undies.
Wild. Embroider your unders, I'm just saying. Okay, and then the second sampler that the young girl would make would be a technique sampler called a stoplet. S-T-O-P-L-E-T. This would enable the girl to learn and illustrate her talents of seaming, darning, and all the household sort of sewing. But then the third sampler, which is what this is supposed to be, or is a reproduction of one, is one that displayed designs and motifs symbolizing what young women envisioned her lifestyle would be when she became a wife and mother. She would embroider designs meaningful to her. This sampler was called the Honeymoon Sampler.
Oh, kind of like a what did we used to have for young girls?
I don't know.
Hope chest.
Oh God. Yeah, that's perhaps similar to American girls collecting items for their future life in a hope chest. Yep. Okay. And I thought this was really fascinating too. Okay. This sampler was called the Honeymoon Sampler. Sometimes a girl would stitch all 3 types of samplers on one piece of cloth, measuring approximately 15 inches by 6 yards.
Whoa.
Which would be kept rolled up. After completing these needlework requirements in her education, she was ready to get married, so on and so forth. So, and then it goes on to explain all the different motifs in this beautiful sampler. I love this. I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
Right, so,
thank you so much,
Sindra. You didn't know what kind of
trouble you'd get in
by sending her that magazine.
So I'm very, very excited about this.
Right.
So I thank you so much, Sindra.
Correct.
Alrighty then. So then the this next piece of wonderful mail is from Susan, and it was just a thank you card, which is very, very sweet. So she lives in Northwest Indiana, and she has a NWI, Northwest Indiana Needle Nerds, and it's a group of her friends. You guys should rent the Whistlestop. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And so they had a retreat not too long ago, and they found 2 charts, and they sent them to us.
In the freebie table or whatever during their retreat?
I think that they actually just had them. Like, somebody had them in their stash and wanted to go. So, the first one is a reminder from our trip to Wisconsin. And it is a chart for Eagle Bluff Lighthouse. And it is a lighthouse that is in Door County, Wisconsin, which is where we just were.
Right.
And so that is that chart.
Right.
Beautiful snowy scene.
And what I was fascinated with, of course, I have to read all the details.
Yeah, just like me.
This came from artwork from a woman named Bridget Kozma, Kozma, in Sister Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah. And they have a gallery called the Mill Road Gallery in Sister Bay. Okay. So I went to try to find more information about this gallery to see if they might have a chart, even though I love that, to see if they might have a chart of the lighthouse that we went up in, which was
Cana
Island. Okay. And it looks like they might. So I'm going to use some of my detective work on the internet to see if I might be able to get a hold of that chart. But
Fantastic.
This is lovely to have because
it
looks like a winter scene.
Yep.
As well as, so this is very lovely.
It looks similar to Cana Island. Very similar.
Yep.
But very, very cool.
Right.
And then this is a find. Okay, so this series is one of my quote-unquote unicorns. And if you are doing Common Threaded Stitcher, then you know that today is Unicorn Chart Day, and it's been a day. It's been so fun.
Amazing.
Yes. So you're only allowed to post 10 photos, so I just stuck with all the Blackbird unicorns I had. Anywho, this would have been on there if I had unlimited pictures, but this is from Birds of a Feather, and this is a whole 12-month series, and it's birthday cats. Okay, I'm here for it. So this is the January one, and if I can collect them piecemeal, then I will do it. Dang it. So this is January.
Too cute.
I'm obsessed with her little ice skates.
Yeah.
So they are
Actually done in, I think that's French. Sure.
What?
Yes. All 12 months have French birthday cat designs.
Right.
So, that's why it says 15 in January in French. And then Sharon is this cat's name, which I think is funny.
What is that word?
It's January in French.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was winter, but it's the month.
It's the month.
Sorry.
So, no, you're fine. And she's super, super cute. I love her. And so, I think I have the July one. So, 2 down.
I think you have some.
I have 2 now.
Okay.
So, 2 down, 10 to go.
There you go.
All right. Whoop. All right. This next collection of mail is from our friend Becca.
Oh, Becca. Hi, Becca.
Hi, Becca. And she is on YouTube as My Stitchy Home.
FlossTube as My Stitchy Home.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she sent this really pretty kitty cat card. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she sent some pretty amazing charts. So the first chart was from, it's a more current chart from the Just Cross Stitch February 2015 issue that has that on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And the pattern that she sent, she said, reminded her of me and my best friend Linda Jo. And I said, I agree completely. And this is called Valentine for a Friend. And it's by Praiseworthy Stitches. And I think it's really pretty.
It's sweet.
It is sweet. I don't know how I feel about this finishing.
No, that's very dated.
Yes, but I do like the stitching chart itself.
Yeah.
So, that is very cute. Yep, from Praiseworthy Stitches. And that is very cool. So, thank you, Becca, for that. And the creme de la creme of Becca's mail to us came from another issue of Just Cross Stitch.
A very old issue.
April 1986.
86. She wasn't even born.
And that's the cover.
Right.
And let me just kind of say that the model stitchers in the 1986 magazine were amazing.
Amazing?
Amazing.
Oh, okay.
Like, that on the cover is so well stitched.
Yeah.
Look at that coverage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So, in here is a Charlie Harper chart.
Right.
And the name of the chart, and then there's this huge...
Yep.
Oh, because it's Katie Artistry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
A big article on Katie Artistry Inc.
Yes. And the name of the chart is called... Because that was before the article.
Oh.
It's called Space for All Species.
Right.
Okay, so before I show you that, cliffhanger, I want to show you this. So this is, so Charlie Harper was a painter, an artist, if you will. And then his charts were converted to cross-stitch by a company called Katie Artistry.
Right. Which was Kathy and Diane, and they were local to Cincinnati.
They were. And so was Charlie Harper.
As was Charlie. And so that's where KD comes from.
Yeah.
And we've been collecting a lot of these old KD Artistry charts. A lot of them depict scenes of Cincinnati, including...
This is like literally all 3 of the charts I showed last week. Okay. Including
this, and that's in the magazine. And one of the prompts coming up for Common Threaded Stitcher is Oldest Finish. And
is that it?
It hangs over on the other side of this room.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's what I'm going to use for my Oldest Finish.
Yes.
Because I stitched that a long time ago with materials purchased from Ruth Sparrow of Twisted Threads when she was in Cincinnati. That goes back a long way.
Yes.
Yeah. So isn't that great? Is that them? Kathy and Diane must be.
This is Kathy and Diane here from Katie Artistry. Love them.
Yep.
And the chart that is in here is freaking amazing.
Right.
You guys are going to die.
Yep.
Please don't die. But it's called Space for All Species.
Yep. Charlie Harper. Look at that, you guys. Especially you local people.
Isn't that amazing?
That amazing? Who would have thought, huh?
Like, okay, so this is really beautiful all together, but think about the freaking smalls you can do with these animals.
Yeah, like that bunny.
Yes.
And that cardinal. Also, it might be worth mentioning at this point that
at this juncture,
in the federal building, in the federal office building in downtown Cincinnati, which is across Main Street from where I worked in the federal courthouse, if you walk into, because you used to be able to walk in freely to the federal building, of course you can't because of 9/11, but after you get through security and you're walking toward the bay of elevators, the bank of elevators, directly in front of you, the back wall, is tile mosaics, and it is covered with Charlie Harper animals.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, it's just a sight to behold, and it is one of downtown Cincinnati's hidden treasures.
It's beautiful.
And even more so because of the security, unfortunately, in the building.
Yeah.
But that design, what is it called?
Space for All Species.
Space for All Species makes me think that it might have been designed around the time when he did the mosaics of the animals in that building. It's very, very similar.
For sure. All right, that is all the mail call.
Okay, that is all the mail call. So moving on to haul.
Yes, you can go.
All right. A couple of treasures from Stash Unload, I think, and eBay.
And eBay.
We have so many personal shoppers out there in the stitching community, and we truly, truly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Someone sent me a Facebook message, gave me a heads up that an Oberlin sampler, now these were from Oberlin, Ohio, and they were designed by a woman named M.M. Waldock. I don't know whether she's still around or not. These were hand-drawn charts, and there were many of them, and some of them, including the one right between us here.
Oh yeah, America.
Many of them I've stitched.
Yeah.
I've done Maine.
Cincinnati.
I've done Cincinnati. I've done America. I've done Chicago as a gift. But someone alerted me on online that there was a
so they have the word series like this.
Yep.
And they also have a map series.
Right. And this was from the map series from Oberlin Samplers, and it is a map of Door County, Wisconsin.
How perfect is that?
So I hurried on over to Stash Unload, and there it is.
Yeah.
And I am so thrilled
it's
that someone
awesome.
remembered us, and Cana Island Lighthouse is on there. And
it's got Sister Bay.
Yeah, it's got Sister Bay on there. Of course, the lake and the bay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Itself. Fish Creek, Egg Harbor, Sister Bay, even all the way up to Washington Island.
Something Bay.
Sturgeon.
Yeah, Sturgeon
Bay. Yeah, at the very
Which is where Door County Candy Company is.
Correct. So, that was a find.
Thank you, personal shoppers.
And then I picked up a Dimensions Gold Petite Kit called Voyage at Sea.
I have a question about this when you shop.
Why do you have a question about it?
You'll find out. See this border?
Yeah.
Like, not the border to the cross stitch, but the outside, like, a world mappy looking situation. Is that the fabric, or do you stitch all that?
I think I stitch it.
Oh, great. Have a good time.
Yeah, it looks like half stitches and straight stitches.
Okay.
This was one that I saw on Cross Stitch with Luda. And, she collects quite a bit of Dimensions Golds. I have another one that hasn't arrived yet that I ordered based on her video. So it's, all pre-sorted stuff. And it should be fun. I think it's going to be very pretty made up.
It is. It's going to be really gorgeous. That back stitch looks fun. Well, this entire background is all half stitch.
Yeah. And then
easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And then this is one that I got off of Stash Unload, I think.
It is.
I think.
It is.
I wouldn't have gone on eBay searching for this, but it happened to come up. From the same designer of One Nation, Bygone Stitches, is Eloquent Christmas. Okay. This is 2006.
Good year.
So it's about 13 years old.
Yep.
And
What's your graduation?
it only uses emerald green 3818 DMC, and the red is, if you can even detect that there's red in there from the picture.
Is it just beads?
It's just beads. It's just Mill Hill beads.
Wow.
So, you know, you could use that DMC or maybe some other DMC. And I've looked at it for a long time and finally just decided to just grab it up.
Well, I'm happy that you did, Pam.
So, that was my haul.
Yes. So, my haul is mostly from Keepsakes because I went back to work this week. And I have been collecting the series from the Halloween mini-series that is this year's release from our lovely friend, Teresa Curry.
Teresa.
And so we had parts 5, 6, and 7 in the shop, and so I picked them up. These are all wonderful for individual smalls, which is perfect. So the number 5 is Eat, Drink, Be Scary. And the fabric is Weeks Dye Works Pumpkin.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, which is super cute, is excuse me, called Spooky Cauldron. And this is stitched on a 30 count banana popsicle by Weeks Dye Works. And then number 7 is called Book of Spells, which I think might be my favorite one.
Yeah.
After I liked the cat. She was my favorite, but this is probably my next favorite. Book of Spells.
Yeah, I love that.
Love that. And that is on 30 count Grasshopper from Weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I just like that mouse. He's cute.
I like the books.
Well, there you go. And then I do not typically purchase items from 1-2-3 Stitch because I work at a needlework shop. However, someone had alerted me to the fact that 1-2-3 Stitch does have some Blackbird quilting fabrics, and so I picked up some to you'd be used in project bags, or B, used as backing fabrics for some smalls. So I got 3 half yards. And so the first one is this, which looks like itty bitty cross stitch. And this is all available. If you just go to 1-2-3 Stitch and type in Blackbird design, you can find their fabrics. So looks like cross stitch. I just want you to be able to see that it's cross stitch. And then this one also looks like cross stitch. It actually makes way more sense if I fold it out a little bit. But it actually looks like cross stitch, see? It's really cool and really pretty, I think. And then the last one, which is going to be great for finishing. I might actually get another half yard of this third one because it's just a really great sort of backing fabric for Christmas items. And so it's showing up a little bit more green, but it's brown and red plaid. But it's Blackbird design, so I like it. And then, so I got those 1-2-3 Stitch, and then this I got from Keepsakes, and I have not been getting every single one of these in this series. One, because they are freaking ginormous. And 2, if they're going to be that big, then I want to really love them. And I only maybe have 2 or maybe 3 others in the series. And this is the Songbird's Garden series from Cottage Garden Samplings. And I saw this on Instagram and I squealed. I was so excited. This is number 11 out of 12, so we're almost done. But this is called Autumn Dream. People. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it is the Tufted Titmouse and Bittersweet.
Right. I love the little pumpkin.
The pumpkin house, yes.
Yeah, the pumpkin house. Mm-hmm.
I like the red in here. I think it offsets.
Yeah.
The other. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Right.
Gorgeous. So I'm excited about that.
So, that was our haul for the week.
Yes. So that leads us to giveaway.
Right.
So last week we had a 2-for-1 deal, and we were giving away Ink Circles North Woods. Pam was passing the stash on that, and Barnyard Buddies. And so we asked everyone to answer the question, what was your favorite trip you took this summer, or what was your favorite memory from this summer? And if you did that, then you got entered into the giveaway. And so every week that we do a giveaway, I record myself picking a winner for complete transparency purposes. And so we will insert the picture of, or the video, I should say, of me giving away these 2 lovely charts here. Pam, do the here.
Oh, here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's giveaway portion of the program. We are giving a 2-for-1 deal away this week. First is Barnyard Buddies with pigs, barns, sheep, chickens, and then also is this Pass the Stash from Pam to You, Ink Circles North Woods. And we asked you all to answer the question, what is your best memory or trip that you did this summer? And so let's find a winner. So we're going to use the YouTube random comment picker that we've been doing. $199 commenters. Let's pick a winner. Rachel Welsh. Looks like you had a great vacation. We traveled to Northern Ontario. Oh, fun. About an hour to visit family in July and had an amazing time. I was kind of sad you didn't go with the farm question, though. I visited a farm when I was 4 and was attacked/chased by a chicken. Rachel, I'm so sorry about the chicken incident. However, I'm not sorry that you won these charts. So, congratulations on winning Barnyard Buddies, and you don't need to stitch the chickens. We can just go like that, and it's like they're not even there. And then also Northwoods as well. So, Rachel, if you would be so kind as to email Pam, and her email is listed in the description box below, with your mailing address, we will get these right out to you, and you can get to stitching. All right, thank you guys so much for your entries. I'm glad you all have had a wonderful summer, and I will send you back to regularly scheduled programming now. Bye.
So congratulations to Rachel Welsh. It appears as if we might be sending them to Canada, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of sounded like it from your comment. So
yes, which
that's great.
We
I love it.
love that so much.
Right.
So Rachel, like I said in the video, please just email Pam at her email address, which is listed in the description box below, and we will get it right out to you. Okay?
Yeah, we'll mail it right out.
Yes, we will. Okay. So
what are we giving away this week, Steph?
well, Pam, you know, summer's it's just a winding down.
And we've been talking a lot about lighthouses.
We have. So we have
and seacoast things.
Yes. And so we have what are the words I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Okay. So when we have a box, thank you. Wow, we have a Pam. You know I'm gonna see that face when we watch this back. So we have a box of items that are either duplicate charts that people have sent us of things that we already have in our stash and have given us permission to pass on.
Right.
Or they are charts that we have stitched and we want to pass on.
Right.
And so every week we look through them and we pick out 1 or 2 things to give away to you all as a kind gesture of sorts. And so this week we have one of each of those things. And so the first one is something that you've stitched, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So that's why we're giving it away. And this is from Dragon Dreams, and it's called Sentinel of Sea and Sky. And
This said a long time ago.
yes.
And that's from Dragon Dreams, and she's a Canadian designer, or she was.
Well, she's always going to be Canadian if she was born there, Pam.
Well, that's true, but she doesn't design
She was born and raised in Montreal, Quebec.
Right, but she lived for several years in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Oh, yeah. So that's the first chart we're giving away, and you can see it on the different colors of fabric. It's beautiful.
Right.
And then the second chart was one that we were gifted, and we already had in our stash. Yeah. I want to have full disclosure with this one, though. It is not in absolute mint perfect brand new condition. There is a little bit of highlighting on the charts.
Right.
And a little bit of border writing on this chart.
Right.
And the chart that I'm referring to is by The Drawn Thread. And it is called Nantucket Needlework Case.
Right.
And this is what it looks like.
Right.
So
I have this in my stash. I haven't yet stitched it.
Nope.
I love it. I think it's adorable.
It is. So included with this, you get the chart and then all the instructions on how to put together this needlework case, kind of like a project bag situation. However, if you don't want to do that, you can just make this all one piece and call it done.
Right.
But it's really gorgeous, and we have this extra copy that we would love for you to.
So what's the
have.
comment going to have to say?
The comments, or the question that they're going to answer is, what is your unicorn chart?
Really?
Why not?
What is your unicorn chart?
So, full disclosure, a unicorn chart is a chart that is out of print, unavailable, that you cannot just go to 123 Stitch and purchase. That's how we define unicorn chart, and it is
It's not one that you could get any day, and you just haven't gotten around to it.
Correct, because
it's usually hard to find.
Yes, just like unicorns are.
Unicorns are hard to find.
Right. So, a unicorn chart in its general description, or Pam, stop with that scary face. So, when you think about what a unicorn is, okay, a unicorn is something that we all know exists, but we just haven't seen one, right? Because they're hard to find.
Somebody's come up with that term.
Yeah,
and that's what a unicorn chart is.
Correct. So
if you would like to get either one of these charts,
I just want to see what people say.
You need to take both of them.
Yes, you do.
We ship anywhere. Mm-hmm. No restrictions that way.
And if you don't have a unicorn chart, just say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to search for the word unicorn in your post.
There you go. And don't say, I just love unicorns.
Yeah, because that's not answering the question.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's a giveaway for next week.
Yes. So what are our plans for this week, Pam?
Besides stitching, we're going to continue. We have one more week of hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher on Instagram.
Yep.
If you don't know what that is, you're either not on Instagram or
you haven't opened Instagram. Or you haven't opened Instagram in the last month.
Yeah. It's been wonderful.
It has.
Not only have we found our common interest in the stitching world, I actually connected with a woman who shares an ancestor with me.
Isn't that wild?
So we're like cousins. And that came from the hashtag Common Threaded Stitcher. And the prompt was, what are your other hobbies? Yep. And my other hobby was genealogy. I took a screenshot of my ancestry on my laptop, and she recognized names. She did a little recon, if you will, and
love it.
Boom.
Love it.
She and I share the ancestor John Libby, who was instrumental in settling Scarborough, Maine. So
perfect.
Holy moly.
Yes.
And we're going to continue with that for the rest of the week.
Yep.
And then we're going to do some stitching, and then we're going to do a video. And by the time you see us next, invoices will have started to go out for StitchCon 2020. So Stephanie might not have any hair for the next video because
I'll put it all out.
She will have worked hard and probably will work more after the video is done.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right. It's time to gather up some dinner.
Yep.
And we're going to get this uploaded. We've got this new phone, so I'm crossing my fingers and toes that everything goes okay.
It's going to be a fun Sunday night.
Oh, boy.
I'm excited.
We hope that you have had a good week.
Yeah.
And got some stitching in. If you didn't, we hope you get some in this week.
Yes.
And until we see you again, I'm Pam.
And I'm Stephanie.
And this is
Just Keep Stitching. Bye!